Good morning. So these two molds I'm going to use today, and I'm going to do a memorial piece for my pet. I'm going to fill it, put my photograph in, place it into the base here, and this base is not designed for the way I'm going to use it, but I'm going to try and put it in like this, hoping it all goes well. Never done it before, and I feel like it could give a really nice look on the base of this memorial piece. So fingers crossed it goes according to plan. So this is my beautiful Melody, and she died in 2017, but she's still very much close in my heart, and so I thought I'd use her as my piece. I've had this stuck on her ashes bag since 2017, and I don't want to lose the picture, so I thought I'd try and do this. So that's my plan. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is get some contact paper. I'm going to stick them together so that it's a clear, solid piece that I can see through. And then I'm going to place it over the heart shape so that I can draw the shape of the heart mold, cut that out. I can then use that template and place it over the photograph, and I can see where it fits best, what parts of the photograph will fit in the mold best. I would normally use acetate, but I don't have any. So here we go. So now I've done that and I've cut the edges, and so what I'm going to do now is draw around this heart shape. So I'm going to use a CD marker, which worked the best. I'm going to place this contact paper over the mold and draw around it. So I'm just pushing against the edge of the mold here and making sure I can get that as neat as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a guide. And then now I'm going to cut it out. Alright, so here we have the heart cut out. I'm going to place it over the photograph now, as I explained, and just see the best fit where I want it to be. And sorry about the glare from overhead. My lighting is terrible. I wish I could afford to buy new lighting, but I can't. I do try and adjust it now and then, but my apologies. So yeah, I think this looks good. Let's get the marker pen and let's draw that on, because I think that's really good. Okay, let's cut it out. I've speeded it up a little bit to save some time because this video is getting really long. So there we go. I will make some adjustments and then fit it in next. So here we are, cut it out. I've evened the sides and the edges, and I really like the placement. And so now what I'm going to do is look at what I can do with those clear voids. Alright, look at how beautiful this timber set resin is from Composite Warehouse. This is my new resin that I'm trialing. I absolutely love it, honestly. It's given me such a fabulous result. You'll see at the end. No bubbles, it's beautiful. Releases the bubbles really easy, low viscosity, no smell. It's amazing. Alright, got a paintbrush here, and I'm going to get mica powder and paint the edges. This is the mica, it's from Archery Creations and it's Stargazer. So, just a little bit at a time. You don't want to create a mess, and you don't want loads of floaty of the mica. Just gently brush it around the edges where you want the mica to cover. And some people use like the colour shifting pigments to do this sort of process. This one's a really subtle and very pale colour, and I wanted it to be gentle. In hindsight, I probably would have chosen a little bit more of a solid colour, because as you'll see at the end with the sides and what the results show. But this just goes to show you can do this with any mica. You don't need to use like a colour shifting. You can do this with any colour you choose, and just tidy up the edges with a bit of alcohol spray on a wipe, and just if you want to. With me, I was pouring this colour in my resin anyway for the back piece of this. So having the spill on the mould at the back, it didn't matter to me because it was going to be covered. So it did work well, but I would have liked it to have slightly better result. Okay, our timber set resin has now sat, and as you can see, there's no bubbles whatsoever. It's super clear clarity. There's no smell. It's gorgeous. I'm really actually getting very impressed at this stage with this resin. So I don't mix any colours in my carp. So what I'm going to do now is mix it in the silicone jug so I can add the colour and reserve some of the resin for later if I need it. But this way I keep my little cup that I mix my resin in clear. So I'm going to add again the Archery Creations into here, same mica, and I'll use that as the background, as the base, so that it will blend with those sides nicely. There'll be no colour transition or changes, and those spills on the base of the moulds there, we can hide them then. It won't make any difference at all. Give it a good mix, make sure you've got no floaties, and again, not worried about bubbles, because those bubbles will come out of this resin so easily. It's super clear. I'm really impressed. Anyway, I'm going to speed up now and pour the resin. Alright, I know this is going very fast, but I have sped it up a lot, but I'm gently just touching the corners of the base to release any trap bubbles that could potentially be there. Alright, you can see I've got my clear varnish now that I'm going to use to seal the photograph. I don't want the ink from the photograph to bleed or get ruined, or the resin to heat and ruin the picture, so I'm going to seal it. So I'm going to use a paintbrush, and I'm going to paint the varnish vertically, then horizontally and over, and you're just doing it very gently, and you will see lines as it dries, but don't worry about that. It will be all concealed when we pour the resin over the photograph. Now I've poured the resin in that I'm going to slot it into, and I'm going to slide the picture in at an angle, and then I'm going to move it slightly to release any bubbles trapped. But you won't see any bubbles underneath anyway, but I don't want any seeping out of the edges while it's curing. So here we go. I'm going to go in at an angle with the picture, push it in, and hopefully that way we will release. Come on, move. It's getting stuck underneath, which is good. I just want it to move a bit more. I have to push it from this direction to where I want you to be, Melody. Right, so now I'm going to just push as I'm placing it down. So release, push any trapped bubbles out. There's no trapped air. You can see what I'm doing forward there. Pushing out. I can flatten that picture. Bottom, suiting. I can feel that is completely flat, and I can see a couple of bubbles there, but there's nothing, it's not moving, there's no trapped bubbles in there at all, which is just fabulous. Fabulous! So now, and we know that we've now got coverage of resin all over the top, I'm just going to pour a little bit more. And then I'm going to give it a quick torch. A little bit more, now that we've got that coated and covered. It's in place and it's not rising. There's no bubbles to rise it. We'll strap down beautifully. And the glitter, well, there may be a couple of bits of glitter, but that will stay where it is for now. Then when it's thicker, I'll come in and pour some glitter around these edges, I think. Once this has cured a bit and it's thick and heavy and it's not likely to move, then I will come in and do that. So that's the project. I thought, yeah, well, that's not very big cup, big spoon, was it? Let's torch. She's worth a bit of bling, is my Melody. She is bling-tastic, for sure. She is bling-tastic. See that in there? Mix it. Now if I was to pour this on now, it would all come into the centre, so there's no point in doing that. As I've got that thicker glitter that's just staying in place because it was heavily almost cured, that's what I'm going to do with this. So what I'm going to do is put you on hold while this thickens, and then I will be back to you. Just a quick one. I had to move fast because I forgot about the glitter in my little jug to put around the edges, and so when I came out it was really curing. So I managed to get it in and I managed to save it from being bubble free, but I didn't manage to get the camera onto film process. And I also added some Mirror from Laura's Art Corner as well. Mirror as well as the white diamond. So in the base I've only put the white diamond, but as you can see, super sparkly. That's perfect for a princess. And the reason I added the mirror was I wanted to more blend those edges of the photograph so that it wasn't so stand out, and she was the centre of the sparkle. Can you see it? It's just sparkling, it's there. Alright, so I've got some washi tape, my X-Acto knife or blade or whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to try and disguise that harsh photograph line with the washi tape. So I've picked some, it's kind of translucent, so I'm going to have to do it in multiple layers. I saw Leah Deer do it, and so you place a layer down at the top, and then you go over it with exactly the same placement with another piece of washi tape. So you line up those words really carefully, and so when we put the resin on, it's not going to go transparent as much, and it will hide that harsh photograph line that I've got there that I don't like. So that's the plan. So I'm going to speed it up now as I do this, and just let you listen to some music. Okay. Just before I go, look at this. This is the timber set, and look at the clarity of the resin. I'm going to set that aside now just to thicken, I've got about 45 minutes work time while I do the washi tape, so that'll give it a nice time to thicken before I need to use it. So let's get moving. Okay, so in hindsight, I wish I had found my outliner by Pebeo to put gold outline on either side of the washi tape and seal it on those edges. And the reason for that is that when this resin layer cured, the washi tape at the top in the center started to lift, and so I got a heavy lump that I ended up having to cut out, and then I had to conceal it, and you'll see that process. Had I had the outliner and let it dry before adding the resin, I think that wouldn't have occurred. But if you keep watching, you'll see I have a remedy that I fix it, and it turns out brilliantly. And yeah, so in hindsight, I should have put the outliner on before pouring the resin at this stage. I'm sorry, I actually didn't record the fix up, but it worked, and you'll see the end product. Alright, I am now using the Let's Resin UV resin, and I'm going to use it to just put tack marks to hold the heart to the base, and then set it and hold it under the UV lamp, just to start that securing process and joining the two items together. What I'll do then is, and shortly I'll add the green frog tape because I realise it's still wobbly, far too wobbly. So I'll put the frog tape over the top as well to hold it, and add some more UV resin to try and make that bond a little stronger. But I'm certainly only doing it around the base of the heart. I'm not covering the whole base with the UV resin. This is just to hold that initial contact before I add the epoxy resin over the top of it to seal it correctly. I have to say the UV resin from Let's Resin worked really, really well to hold and attach the heart to the base. Alright, I've already added some mirror in this resin to make it similar to the outline of the heart, but I'm going to add some more in here. In hindsight, I think I added too much, but then is there ever too much sparkle when you've got bling bling from Mirror from Laura's Art Corner? It's a fine line. Is it too much? Is it not too much? Nah, it's all good. Alright, I'm leaving the heart secured with the tape because it's still a little bit wobbly. So now I'm going to pour the epoxy resin, that timber set from Composite Warehouse, pour that over the top of the UV resin and around the top of the base, and then let that set to secure that heart in place. So wow, look at that sparkle, look at it, wow, it gets me all the time. Hey, how beautiful it is. It truly is beautiful. If you want to contact Laura, it's Laura's Art Corner. She has the most amazing selection of glitters that she can post to you. So contact her and she'll show you. If you are looking for something specific, she'll show you what she's got. And if she doesn't have it, she goes out of her way to find it for you. So I had the best customer service when I first met Laura. I love her to pieces. And Sherry, you are absolutely correct. She is the glitter guru. Absolutely 100%. So anyway, contact her if you're looking for some special glitters out there. Okay, I've used my Cricut and I've done some final wording for my plaque and added them, and I'm going to seal them in with some clear resin using the Timberset. Hold on, let me get it. The Timberset composite. I'm just trying to angle it. Okay, there you go. There it is. Super clear clarity. So I'm just going to cover that vinyl with that Timberset resin now. This one, my melody piece. So I completed my Cricut wording. So this is saying that I have tattooed on my foot. So it's we'll walk together forever. And then on the back here it says always in my heart, melody. So, and then I've top coated it with resin to cover it. That's covered in there, but I think there's a little gap there. That's good. Now there's going to be a little bit of a rough edge because I did over pour and I had to take some of it out. So I'm guessing that there's going to be a little bit of a rough edge that I'll need to get my file and file edges. And also remember I put that mica, and it was the Stargazer in between here, so it's like a white and goldish colour, very subtle, just so that I had some sort of colour around the edges. One part I know that I did smudge it and I put mica back on it, but also then when I'm clearing the edges of bubbles with my silicone tool, I may have rubbed some of it off, so I'm not sure what result we're going to get around the edges, but we'll discover together. So let's unmold this little project. And this, I've told you before, was it is a stand, but it's a stand for a tree. So it has holes in it for when you turn it upside down, meaning that the bottom that I'm using here is the top. You can see the little holes there. So when it's like this, you're supposed to place the tree that sits into this mould and it stands up. But I used it the other way around to use them to balance the heart in. You will have remembered that in the video anyway, you will have seen that. So that's just a reminder, in case anyone skipped to the end. So we'll just gently pull those out. We don't want to rip it. So we just go around and gently pull, there you go, one out, two. So I put the heart in here. And you can see that the mould, all the mica's gone, perfectly clean. Just need the edges washing. And there you go. So yeah, there's a couple of bits that I just need to file down. And yes, there's a break where I did the top coat to the bottom coat. So you can see a couple of layers. That's where I've rubbed it off, you can see it there. Also when I'm doing the edges with the bubbles, but there's no bubbles, there's no pop holes, which is awesome. These will just break off. Not a single pothole. Yay! That's one of my pet hates, is the potholes in the resin. So this is just a personal piece, as I've told you before, for me. Pull off those little bit of edges. You can also use cuticle cutters to cut them off if they're too hard, and then just go along and file the edge. Just take off any roughness from the over pour and smooth, but I will file it anyway so it all matches. That's as simple as it is. Now, if you are filing the resin, put your respirator on, because you do not want to breathe it in. I'm not doing that because I'm speaking to you guys. I'm choosing not to, but I'm only doing it very briefly. Not much filing, but if you do, please use the appropriate protective equipment. There you go, and I'll clean up that, and that's it. So there's my finished product. Now you can encapsulate your dog's ashes in here, in this base. Yeah, actually that's pretty cool. If you look under there, you can actually see through the glitter. There, it's clear, top coat. Hey, stop it. Just turn my dogs off. So yeah, you could choose to fill those if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. It doesn't bother me. Let me just clean my surface with a multi-purpose wipe. I like to not breathe it if I can avoid it, so I always clean as I go along. Plus it's good for finished projects. You don't get any dust particles, so you clean as you go and don't forget to do it. There you go everyone, what do you think? I think it is wonderful. Now you could leave this like this if you want, or you could put another decal on there with the date maybe of the passing over your pet. I'm going to leave it as it is because it's just for me and I love it. I just think that's so personal. It's a paperweight, so you can put it on a shelf as a memorial, and I think it's turned out for something that I've never done before, and I just thought I'd try it and see if I could make it work. I think it's turned out fantastic, and yeah, I'm really happy. What do you think? So please subscribe to my channel if you like my project, and you know, hit that notification bell so you can see my upcoming projects. I've got lots of ideas of what I want to try. And then, you know, hit the like button if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe. And what also helps is if you share this video around, it means more people get to see it, and hopefully I'll be able to build my subscription and my followers and build my channel, because as you know and you can see, I don't have many followers. I really appreciate the ones that have already subscribed to me, because it means the world, and it shows that you appreciate, you know, what I'm doing and trying to create and give you new ideas of things that people have not done before, and show you new ways to use your Cricut, but also your resin, and how to do memorial pieces, or how to do photographs and you know, memorabilia, and of course using my beautiful glitters like Mirror and White Diamond, both from Laura's Art Corner. Absolutely beautiful. I think you can see the 3D effect as I've done layers. Absolutely stunning, and the holographics in there, but it doesn't overpower and it doesn't take away from the beauty of my dog that passed in 2017. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye, and thanks for watching. If you've watched all the way through to the end, I really appreciate it. Have a good day, enjoy your resin, have fun, be creative, and God bless you.